Squad alone.
The housekeeping awesome death.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I am Jeff Doss. What is up, sport karate world, insiders, everyone? It has been a while. It's been 2 weeks since we've seen you guys, and we had a amazing martial arts weekend. What's up, Sam? Glad you're doing well, buddy. Great seeing you, and I'm sure we'll talk more. But yeah, we have a big night. I'm going to run down just some of the people that are going to be on the show tonight. We're going to have Katarina on tonight. We're going to have Alice Gross on tonight, and we're going to have Rissa Kalar on tonight. So all three big winners from the weekend. And then also, I'm hoping next week we will have Paola and Bailey on, as well as Avery Presley on. So we'll be having some different competitors from different styles. And I tell you, man, we could talk about the Battle of Atlanta for 2-3 weeks.
Oh, 100%. There was a lot that happened.
And maybe even after U.S. Open, we blend the two. Who knows? Because one leads to the other. And,
True.
Right now, there's a lot of things up in the air. Like this tournament shifted a lot of things, right? There were some people who had big wins in their division and first-time wins over certain people, So that makes a big difference leading to U.S. Open. That gives them momentum, right?
Yeah.
What are some of those maybe for you that you saw?
Well, there was so many.
But yeah, there's so many. Of course, for you guys to know too, of course, I'm in it. I have a lot going on this week, and I'm going to share that too, like at the Battle of Atlanta. So, and I tell you, man, the battle's become one of those tournaments. Canelo and I were talking about today that I feel like the U.S. Open, like I feel like I was walking just as much as I would the U.S. Open. Shelly was with me.
That's a lot of walking.
And she was kind of like compared to the old days of when we would do Super Grands, of like how much we walked and moved, and we were going from one ring to the next and everywhere, and how exciting it was. And with the multiple finals and things like that. And she was like, "This has to be one of my favorite tournaments I've been to ever."
Really?
And so it was really cool, even though it was a rough week and a long week. I mean, we were exhausted. But yeah, I mean, it was really cool, man.
You know what? Lindsay was just talking about the Battle of Atlanta because I was, I'm telling her like, oh man, there's a whole lot going on this weekend. And I'm giving her little cliff notes, and she's like, man, I love that tournament. Right? Yeah. She's like, I miss that tournament, and I'm like, man, and that's someone who wasn't around a lot of tournaments, and some of the ones that she was around, she was like, I could never go back to this again, and I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
She said that about the Irish Open, right? She was like, hey, I really want to go. And then she was like, you know what? I got to go. I'm fine if I don't go back. Oh, okay. Sounds good. But the battle, she really loved the battle, right? So I think that was one of her favorites as well.
So I'm going to share one thing, and then we'll get into this. So I got there Monday, okay? That's the reason why we didn't have a show. We were just getting settled in. And Shelly and I went down. We were staying in a house with also all the Europeans that just got off the plane. So they are trying to adjust to everything. And I tell you what, man, I had a blast staying with all these guys and girls. It's kind of weird because, we left. Here's the deal. It was Christian, Shelly, and I that were, let's just say our late 30s to, 40s. Everyone else, it's pretty much like Shelly and I left our, adult kids, that 19 to 21 to hang out with other adult kids, like that exactly
It's weird when you say it out loud, right?
Yeah, right. You're like, and it was just funny, but it's cool to be around other cultures, right? And just the way that all of them were there, they were having fun, but they were there for business. You know what I mean? I tell you, and that was
Yeah.
what was really cool. They were there for a reason. Yes, they wanted to see some things and stuff, but their number one priority was being ready for the event, you know. And of course, Christian being there, leading by example on that, being that person to say, hey, we need to go to a place to work out. They need to work out right now. We need to do this. We need to do that. You guys are eating at home. You guys are doing, we're going to have one go out meal, and then, you know, things like that. Right. And so it was really cool to see, just a fun time, getting to know, you know, my new teammates and family. You know, I really feel like that. So, was a great thing. There just some funny. It's funny because now I can't call Mason anymore. I have to call him like Mejon. Okay. Like, cause that's how Demi calls him, right? Because of his like Greek accent. And it's just so funny. Yeah. And then, yeah. And then like Demi's, you know, the way he talks is very like strong. And so like, I always feel like when he says my name, like I'm in trouble. Jeff, I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm fine. And yeah, dude, Demi is a house. So is, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy with these guys. So it was a lot of fun. There's some, I don't even know if I should tell, but there's some hilarious things of, you know, just differences in cultures of like, you know, like where you put food at after you eat it or open it, things like
Why?
that.
What do
you
they
know?
do?
It's just, yeah, we can leave the raw meat just sitting out. It'll be okay. Like, wait, no, you got to cover that up and put it back in the fridge. You can't just leave it wide open. You know,
I
funny
mean, unless
things.
you're trying to dry the meat, but if you're just like, no, I'll
Yeah.
let it sit out for 3 hours, like that's bananas.
Yo,
Who knows? Maybe they do something different with their bananas.
because it was funny, but Martin and Mason, they were about to make some chicken, and one of the chickens that they got, I guess, had turned already, right? The chicken slices. So instead of just straight throwing away, what do young kids do? They just start slapping each other with the chicken, with the raw chicken. And I'm just sitting there like, yo, I'm out of it. I'm not even touching anything in this kitchen anymore. There's salmonella everywhere.
Hang on. Wait, what? Hold on.
I know, they're just hitting each other and throwing at each other, putting in each other's face.
This is the problem when you're hanging with kids sometimes is they do just the most bonkers things. So
Exactly.
they were just goofing around. They thought it would be funny to take a raw chicken and hit each other with it. I think if somebody hit me with a raw chicken, it would suck because it would be like, all right, I mean, I guess it's either me or you. One of us is gonna have, we're never gonna be friends after this. Either I'm gonna have to destroy you, or you're gonna destroy me, because there's no option for me just going, hey, don't do that anymore. Like I have to physically just do whatever I can. It really sucks that you put us in this position, but what the heck, man? I would rather somebody like just slap me across the face than hit me with a raw chicken.
Like just a slice, not like a full-on chicken.
I know what you're saying.
I'm just making sure you know. They didn't like.
I know. It's worse the more you explain it. Yeah, I feel like a straight up chicken would be better than just a raw cutlet.
Wasn't that in? No, he hit him with this. Okay, I feel like this. It's like something from a scene from Robin Hood Men in Tights or something like that.
It sounds like something from the movie. I don't know if you've seen this movie, the movie Pootie Tang.
Oh yes, I've seen.
Doesn't it seem like something that would happen in Pootie Tang?
Yeah, it does. All right, so let's talk about some big battle moments from this. I do want to comment.
Yeah.
is cool, like what Brett said about that. I like that the black belts are out in the atrium where anyone can come watch without having to pay a spectator fee. That's great for anyone to watch. But yeah, that was really cool. I agree on that.
And is anybody coming to events without who comes without a spectator pass?
Yeah, but see, the middle part is wide open for anyone in the hotel to come in. There's not really a way to have security like stop that. You just can't get inside. So that was kind of cool where it really, if you just want to stay in the atrium, you don't have to do that. But most of spectators are going to get one once they do it. Like Calvin was hanging out there for a while and said, all right, well, for me to go and watch my daughter, I need to go because she's in that room. So I need to go get a spectator pass. But he was there for half the day without buying one until later on, right? So
all right. So that was my question, is how many scenarios
whoa, time out. Is this real?
That's real.
Is this real?
How's it going, babe? This is her first ever appearance.
I know. See, now
this is her first ever appearance on Inside Scoop. Lindsay chimed in.
Now I'm really gonna have to like call out Shelly, like, listen, you got to listen to the show now.
Oh yeah, she doesn't.
You know, and it was funny because she was telling everyone over the weekend, yeah, I really haven't watched this. I was like, well, you know. But yeah, there were some great fights this weekend. Let's just share a couple of them before our first guest comes in.
Well, I mean, the team fights were really exciting, and I really loved those. All of that was fantastic. I do have a gripe, and I get it, but it's the order in which fighting is in the finals, and when the team fighting is at the end of the tournament, I do not care for that. I don't care for the team fighting to be the last thing. It doesn't make sense. All right.
Why?
Because we are an individual sport. Yes, we have teams. All right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But it is kind of anticlimactic. All right.
I don't think so. I think it's the most exciting event. So why not keep it to the end?
No,
but
starting with that.
I know that, but here's the problem. You know, if you start with that, there's so many egos, there's so many people on stage at once. Anything could happen in that, and then that could affect, I'm talking from experience, that could affect other people from fighting later on. In this case, it was actually the best scenario because of the way that the male fighting kind of broke down, right? Bailey won. Jason Latona got injured. He had to bow out. So there's that. Your other one was two people on the same team that have respect for each other. They fought, but, you know, like they weren't going to go as hard. You know, so I think
I would almost rather the fight not be the last thing, though, right? Like, I'd be fine if, like, the men's or women's weapons final was the last, or the men's CMX if that was the final.
Yeah, and that usually is lately in NASCAR, right? That's been the big thing because of the 3 or 4 that have been up there. But the Battle of Atlanta has made that stance. You know, both times that Greg Ruth has been on here, he said their thing is to be the best fighting tournament in the United States. So that's what they're
and putting the team fighting final as the final event. That does kind of put your money where your mouth is. I get it.
It's always a great fight, and it's big. But I get it. I like starting with it. We used to always start with it in NBL, but there was issues with that too. And I even took it off because of that and put more open weight stuff on there. But
and I'd be cool with that too.
Yeah. So I mean, but you also have Friday night fights where they have that as well. So
that's why I was weird. I was like, with such an emphasis on the Friday night, why are we putting this back on Saturday? Just let Friday be Friday and let Saturday be Saturday. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting, but at the same time, then you're limited to only 3 fights on the next day, you know? So, and again, it's you can't predict how that's going to work with team fighting. You know that this team is going to go against this team.
And there can't be a bow out. That is true. You know, there can't be a bow out.
Where there's that respect, and maybe so. I think that that is the reason why it worked, and I liked it, you know. And again, I like having team fighting on Saturday. So, but it's so I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. What was the other? There was something else on that track that we were talking about.
Well, I was talking about some of the fights, you know,
Yeah.
were really exciting. I think one of the things that we were talking about before the show started is, I really like Katarina Hermann's fighting style, the way
Yes.
it's developed and it's kind of adjusted. She has a physical advantage and a skill advantage that some of the other fighters just cannot possess. You're either as tall as she is or you're not, right? You either have that high a chamber that she does or you don't, right? She has that reach advantage and there's just nothing they can do about it. God made her that way, right? She upped her speed quite a bit. Her reaction time was extremely on point. Her reach chambers, right? Her faking, it was as right. It was as fast as everybody else. And I'm like, okay, you found an area that people were able to exploit because they could have that as an advantage over you, and you just took it right back. I thought she was fantastic.
That's huge. The other thing that you and I were talking about was parity, the parity in the sport right now that we're liking to see, right? And yes, there are some dominant people, right? But at the same time, and we've seen it, you know, usually if Enrique wins open weight, then Bailey may win the next day, which is what happened here, right? But also you have other fighters that, you know, like Martin and Bailey go back and forth, you know. Tyson this time had an amazing weekend and beat Enrique. You know, you have, you know, how in open weight Christian beat Mason, then Mason came back the next day, beat Christian, right? You have Demetrios, who was on in his open weight and his individual and had maybe some issues in teams, right? There's all kinds of scenarios where we see this, and that's what's amazing about the sport, but also this event. What also was cool was there were several other names that kind of came in there and you know, won some of their divisions, you know, like some guys from ATL, some of the different guys there, you know, seeing Devin Hopper competing, you know, this is only second time we've seen him compete in the States in probably over a year, you know.
And now he's got a new team.
Yep. So man, I mean, there's so many different things. I'm going to tell you, I was all over the place, and I would sit at one point to try to watch a few matches, and then I would run in to watch runoffs and cheer on people and coach teammates, form people. Then try to come back, then have to deal with some other team things, you know, that you just have to deal with. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. Oh wow!
Amazing. Yeah. That was probably the last time Lindsay was at the battle, which was it was a great year. Yeah. No, I think she went again after that. I think, yeah.
I remember that year because I met her that year.
That's true. Yeah. But she went a couple times. But yeah, Roman winning the battle the first time was.
Let's talk about that, Rashad. Yeah, thank you, because that's been the topic all day on Facebook.
And I wanted to talk about this too.
Have been all the double DQs. Let's get to it.
There's an argument for it.
I didn't get to see any of them except, and it really, that one wasn't a double DQ, I don't think.
Which one was the Trey Brown one?
Yeah, so I had I had to leave Friday to take one of the people who got knocked out to the hospital. So that
Ian, right?
Yeah, so and that was a crazy one, but I think that wasn't a double, a double one. So let's go ahead with that and an opinion, and then we're going to be bringing on Katarina very soon.
Which one? Which one are we going to get? Let's talk about. I want to talk about the Trey Brown one because that one. Okay, so if you don't know what it is, there's clips of it everywhere. All right. So essentially, Trey Brown I love his kicking ability, his talent. I also love, we're not going to talk about it now, that he fought Anchor in team fights. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah, right. Me too. But in the fight that we have in question, he is just pumping, great body position, just pumping a couple side kicks. And someone goes, I can't remember who was the other fighter that he knocked out.
Yeah, it was Judson Holly.
Okay.
Yeah, from Georgia.
So he reaches to check, but the foot was at his face.
Yeah.
And he reaches to check. And like, this is never, ever, in case anybody wants to know how to check, you cheat sheet, unless you're elite at this thing, never, ever, ever check when the chamber gets above like the middle of your body. It's like baseball, like when you turn your glove, right? If you get to the point where you have to turn your glove up, like, don't check that, right? It's the same type of thing. Like if you have to reach up, if your hand has to move up, don't check that. All right. Now you have to lift your hand up over the top. All Trey had to really do, Trey was going to hit him no matter what. Because Trey could have just brought it down and side kicked him in the body, would have won. But he didn't even have to do that. He just reached and missed. And Trey side kicked, didn't do one thing wrong. And he literally dove his face right at his heel. All right. Yeah. So Trey did a stationary side kick. Boom. All right. And he got disqualified because of excessive force, which isn't accurate because he did not execute excessive force. But because his opponent dove his face right at his foot, that was the excessive part. It wasn't Trey's fault. However, if you don't DQ him, and the fight, if he knocks a fighter out, even on accident, and you allow him to continue, the boxing commission is coming right in. All right. Yep. You can't allow a knockout and a win, right? And without the boxing commission coming and taking over. That is really the main thing as to why he had to be DQ'd.
And I think that was the same thing with Jalen and Ian as well. And even that one was completely a whole different thing, like a crazier, in a lot of ways, even crazier because, especially for Ian, because he didn't even see the kick because it went around his head. So talking to him, it was really weird of like, what did he even hit me with? How did this even happen? You know, because I got the point, you know, it's like I stepped in and got the point. Why am I out? You know, so those are the ones that are scary.
Why am I looking at fluorescent lights?
Right. So
3 cities away.
But I mean, you know, he recovered well and is doing great. So we had a good hangout at the ER. But
well, that's good that he had you there to do that, because you obviously were not obligated to do any of that. You didn't have to do that. You had 1.5 million other things you had to do. So he is a little, you know, fortunate that he had someone that, you know, cared about his well-being enough to stay by his side, because I've had it where I remember the first time I got knocked out. It was just me and my brother, right, in that hospital. And then my brother was thoroughly, when you get a concussion for the first time, you don't know that you're repeating things over and over again. So by the time it actually clicks, the person that you're saying all these things to is so pissed off that you've been saying the same stuff over and over again that they're just like, I don't care anymore. Just go walk in the middle of the street.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, Greg said this on the show. He said, you know, about knockouts, you got to DQ the guy who threw the technique. I don't think anyone believes Trey thought that with any ill intent. And I think that's the thing. Like saying that, oh, well, it wasn't intentional. I mean, dude, we're not in anyone's brain. You know what I mean? Like we're not, you know, it's just, it is what it is. It's so,
now, yes, however,
4 KOs this year. So that is crazy. But again,
there are some knockouts where you look at it and go, man, you meant that. Yeah. You meant that.
Well, that's mostly because, all right, you're around BJ most of your career, okay? So BJ Carnahan meant most of the knockouts that he did.
Actually, no, he would be the outlier to where sometimes you think he means it. Sometimes he just doesn't. All right. He is just a big ball of mass. All right.
Right.
So sometimes when he just throws a ridge hand, all right, he'll knock you out with a front ridge hand without moving the rest of his body. He's just a big ball of mass. So he is actually the outlier in that. But sometimes there are guys that are just like, they're hotheads and you see it and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? I have to DQ you. What about that? What about the scenarios where guys can get DQ'd or ladies can get DQ'd if they don't knock somebody out? They hit them, but they don't get knocked out. Is there anything about that?
I don't know what you're talking about, but you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to bring on Katarina.
All right, let's do that.
She maybe will answer that question.
What's happening, Katarina?
Nothing much, guys. I'm with Jeff. I'm not sure what you were asking, but I'd love to answer any questions.
Well,
you do
let's just chalk that up to I was talking crazy. But what wasn't crazy is your fighting this weekend. You had quite the weekend, all right?
Thank you.
Talk to me about your approach, because I feel like your approach lately has adjusted, right?
Maybe. Do you mean like approach in tournaments as a whole, or my fighting, or both?
You're
I
fighting.
guess?
You're
My
fighting.
fighting. I mean, I feel like a lot of times growing through the sport in the past 4 years now in the adult division, a lot of people would come and tell me and remind me to try to fight like Katie. And I never really knew what that meant. And that was almost not making it worse, but made it a little confusing because I'm trying, but I don't really know what that looks like. So, really, recently in this past year, just trying to take bits and pieces from everywhere I possibly can and figuring out what that means to fight like Katie, if that makes sense. So, kind of understanding where my game plan is and where my strategies are and where my strengths are. So, still obviously not ditching that and using my advantages like to my own favor, but at the same time, still not neglecting taking other things from different places and then slowly trying to integrate those just ideas, drills, techniques into my game. But that's kind of,
Well,
I think, where.
I was very specific earlier in the show about what I thought you have improved. All right. So I think your overall reaction time,
Mm,
I think has improved quite a bit. I mean,
thank you.
I shouldn't say it this way. I should say what you displayed in your performance shows a big difference in what we've seen from you in years past. All right.
Mhm.
Let's just call it out. You and Katana are really like you. I think you guys are the best. Number one, number two. It's you two. And I don't think it's crazy to say Katana displays a lot more athleticism in her skills and in her techniques when she fights you because she has to. But one of the things I just feel like you've done recently is you've started implementing some of those things, right? Just your reaction time, your rechambers. Just I watching a fighter step in and not even pick your foot up, just go ahead and blitz, like totally catches your opponent off guard because it's not what they're expecting from you. I thought it was a great performance.
I mean, honestly, though, I appreciate it. Thank you. I can't, there's nothing specific in my training that's changed in order to kind of accentuate or improve my athleticism in a way. Like I've always done plyometrics, I've always lifted weights, like at least since I've been in the adult division, like I don't think there's anything that's been crazy about it. I feel like it's just me learning and growing. Like moved up early. I've been in the division 4 years now, 20 years old, like still underage in the US. So, I think a lot of it is just me figuring it out.
Loud here, Katarina.
I think it's me figuring it out. And just growing into the sport. Definitely is helping those little things that I feel like there's only so much you can do. Like I'm only going to do plyometrics 2, maybe 3 times a week. Like much more than that, it's not going to change that. It's just how much time I'm spending doing that and the months and the years that have gone by, and continuing that and trying to grow with it and grow with the sport.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell consistency. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You know?
Thank you.
I mean, you can see it in a lot of different ways. Just like your posture, the way you handle everything like that. You've grown, and the thing is too is that, again, like you said, only 20 years old, your body is going to develop more. There's just so many things that you're going to get. You're going to grow smarter mentally. All things that like sometimes we overlook because you've been so dominant as when you started. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, all right, how much better can she get? She's only 20, guys. Like, come on.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. No, it's motivating in a way too. Like, because I take it as a compliment, but on the same hand, it's kind of like, guys, don't forget. Like, I remember
Yeah.
even Alex saying, like, oh, people will figure it out. Like, it's just an awkward look, like this and that. And I remember watching that and going, okay, like, write that down. I'll remember that. And like, thank you. Because it was just one of those extra little things that helps that much more into staying consistent and kind of trying to prove people wrong, I guess.
But see, that's a great moment. See, I don't
Yeah.
mind putting
No, me
something out
neither.
there and then
Yeah.
going, they correct.
Yeah.
There's been a
That's
few of them. All right. I used to be, another example. I used to be a huge Team Latona critic.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, I
I
know.
was like, I was leading that charge. All right.
Mhm.
But they've definitely turned that around quite a bit, which we're going to talk about them. If we get to it today, there's so much to talk
it'll
about.
probably
Yeah.
end up being next week, but yeah,
Have to be.
yeah. This event was crazy.
Mhm.
So Katarina, what? All right, we can talk about this weekend, some of your big moments, and maybe
Yeah.
fights that you thought, you know, just maybe your mindset in what you had, and also just things that you saw. But also maybe you want to share some other big moments that happened in your career so far.
Ooh. Okay.
I
I don't
know
know. I
that.
think some some big moments from the weekend. I don't know. It's always nice being at battle. There's so many fighters, even men's division, what, 50 people? Like we had pretty much 30, 29, 28
Yeah,
around
y'all had
that. So
something
we
like
had a
that.
good bit.
It
That's
was great.
big.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like that last year too. Mainly like we were already talking about consistency. I've never gone to battle and not lost. I know it's setting the bar pretty high, but that's irritating when I've done that at other tournaments and just for some reason, like in Atlanta, sometimes like I've not gone once and just like I've always lost there at some point along the way. So it was really nice and a big moment for me to kind of reassure and affirm my growth in a literal fact in front of me that I didn't lose all weekend. Where, because, sometimes you can get in your head, like, am I really getting better? Like, people are
Yeah,
figuring it out, but so am I. Like, have I figured it out? But things like that definitely help solidify that belief and understand, okay, I'm in the right path, I'm going in the right direction. So generally, that was the biggest moment for me was just to be able to really see that and believe in myself and people around me believing in me, and then proving them right, which was really awesome. The open weight division was great. I love the Friday night fights, the how they split it up.
yeah,
Takes a little bit of pressure off the Saturday night, so you can kind of have going into Saturday having already won something is definitely nice. Where some
yeah.
tournaments aren't like that. Um, Open weight division was good. I didn't really like everybody I fought was a great fighter. Like I fought Tahira, um, Paula a few times, Tina below, which was awesome to see her over here. Savannah, who else? Jimena, um, Brianna. Yeah, I had a lot of not an easy go.
Yeah,
So that kind of added to it being satisfying in a way where, you know, could prove to myself that okay, these are the people in the division and these are the women that I'm gonna have to go against,
right.
kind of no matter what big tournament I'm at. So to be able to come on top of that was really, really awesome. And then to keep that going for the 48 hours that is a tournament and kind of keep that ball in
So
motion
hard to
as it's
do.
going. Yeah, yeah, even in a 10-second, 30-second pause in the middle of a fight, it's like, okay, keep the momentum going and to keep that through the whole weekend was really awesome moment, was a big moment. Um, I was really cool fighting Paula twice. Oh, hey. It was really
He'll
cool
pull
fighting
back.
Paula twice. 3 rounds on stage each time. That was
Yeah.
hey.
It's all good. I'm sorry. There was something going on in the backstage,
It's
and
okay.
I'm just trying not to laugh, and so I took myself off. Okay.
Yeah. But big
Well, let's
moments.
lean
Yeah,
into that a little
yeah,
bit, Katarina, because I
yeah.
I am curious about that. Of your fights and performances this weekend, which one was your toughest and which one was your favorite? And maybe they're the same fight.
Toughest and favorite? I would say toughest. Honestly, toughest is always the first fight. First fight of the tournament, Friday, any nerves. I haven't quite worked them out yet. I feel like, I can do a good warm up, but it's never
Mm,
quite the same as already having fought.
yeah.
So probably my first fight, I think was Tahira and open weight on the Friday. But that was just tough, just kind of shaking everything loose and focusing because she always comes wanting it clearly and Java behind her and everything. So, and I love fighting her because she'll always challenge anything. Like she'll challenge anything, and if I'm not moving, I'm gonna get hit by something. So
Yeah.
that was probably the toughest because first fight, anyways. Favorite, probably Tina or Savannah because two reasons. One, a lot of people being a larger individual, 6 foot and above, a lot of times people attribute my success to being bigger than the other person.
Does it
And
irritate you?
yes, because if that's the case, why isn't all big people good at point fighting? Because
Right.
it, like obviously I think it helps, but at the end of the day, like everyone can play towards their strengths. And
Yes.
my leg is heavy. So at the end of the day, like I make it work and other fighters make it work for themselves. So one, I liked fighting both of them and being very successful in both of those fights because we're pretty close to the same size. They both kick predominantly. So, it was being able to kind of fight fire with fire and then add in new tools and look at it differently, which was really enjoyable. Tina was really cool to fight because I only fought her once in 2022 Bristol when I went over there with Jesse Ray for VFT,
Yep.
and I was 16. We went in 4 versus 7 for a, USA versus Europe. And I don't know who any of these people are. The women's team for the USA was me, Peyton Fender, Brianna Nurse, and Kitana. And, they had their top 7, like Francesca, Evelyn,
Yeah.
Jody, all of them. And
Right.
Kitana and I ended up fighting twice. I fought Tina and Francesca and, team fight. But I remember fighting Tina and it was about tied. And I had no idea what I was doing. Um, I was just kicking and punching out there. So it was really kind of a full circle moment to be able to be there 4 years later, on a team now, on Paul Mitchell now, and knowing in confidence in myself that I know have a lot more of a game plan and just a lot more of something going on up there while it's happening,
Yeah.
which was really cool to see in the strategy and then just how the fight was executed. Um, yeah, those are my two favorites, probably.
All right.
Nice.
So
Love it.
let's hear before we let you go. But what are your individual goals? Because here's the deal. Like you've kind of done a lot right now, right? So let's do it. Let's what's
So,
yeah.
top goal, I mean, one just tournament win goal, a diamond ring. I need a diamond ring. Trevor has a few. I was talking with him recently. I got to work with him a little bit before battle as well, which helped. But he has a few. Casey as well. I've been up there 4 times fighting for it. Still don't have one.
Yeah.
So however long it takes me, I'm completely okay with the process and looking forward to it. But I need one of those, at least one, maybe more.
Yeah.
There we go.
I like
That's that's probably top goal. Second goal, more of like a long-term goal, just to be like as consistent as I can. You know, being in school still and having everything going on in your early 20s, like I don't want to quit, I don't want to stop, and I don't want to lose my enjoyment for the sport because that's really what keeps everyone doing it. It's all optional at the end of the day.
Yep.
So keeping loving it, doing whatever I can to stay loving it and stay consistent and stay doing it at any capacity. That's a big goal, kind of a long-term, everlasting goal. That one for sure. Um, that's about it. Maybe obviously really long term step into a coaching role at some point. Love to coach. Even just doing lessons and then being able to see the kids compete and see see their thought process and things. And obviously it's doing a lesson on a tournament weekend. You can only take so much, but still being able to kind of see their thought process and see even just mentally and emotionally being prepared for the tournament. It was really cool, and it has been really cool to see that in students and in other fighters recently. So more of that side as well. But yeah,
That's awesome.
Katarina, do you see yourself doing any other combat sports?
I always kind of have. I was in kickboxing before I did point fighting. Like I won a Waco
So
Nationals
much
in
that. Yeah.
kickboxing. Yeah, when I was like 9, I fought 13 and under. Um, And I always loved it. I always did continuous and that. And then kind of ever since getting on Paul Mitchell, really, I just kind of focused on point fighting because NASCAR tournaments, like it makes sense. I love it. But I could, I just have to find somebody in my weight class. That's another challenge. Like a lot of full contact things for women, you have to be under what, 135 pounds, 140 pounds, which that's not happening. Thank you very
Oh,
much. Yeah. So I know Karate Combat
little.
in earlier days kind of did that, where you could, as long as you found somebody that was in a similar weight category, they would match you up. But even like Total Combat and stuff like that, I definitely consider it, but I'd have to figure out the logistics of it. And then I'm sorry, I'm gonna ramble on a little bit more.
Okay.
I've thought about it too. It makes me nervous going into a different kind of combat sport because I wouldn't want to take away from my point fighting. I would feel like if I wanted to do that, I would have to choose one in a way, and I wouldn't want to mentally stray away from what I've already been doing to have success, if that makes sense.
That
I
makes
see
I
sense.
don't
the
know.
argument for it.
Yeah, I don't
I do
know.
think you
I
could do both.
would.
If that
I
was if
agree.
your life ended up presenting those options,
Yeah,
I think you could do that. But I do understand the argument for that.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I'd think about it. I definitely consider it. Kind of
And the thing
probably
is,
mid 20s.
Katie, like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
20 right now.
I
So
have
yeah.
no rush. I'm not in any
Yeah,
rush with that, but in the next decade, I would definitely consider it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Katarina, thank you so much. Congrats on a great weekend, and we will see you at the US Open.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. See you guys soon.
Awesome. Wow. Huge, right? All right. So now we're going to go with another amazing martial artist who had a big weekend. There she is. Alice Gross. How are you? Doing well?
Yes, sir. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome.
We are great. You look excited.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Uh-oh.
Is it me? Can you hear
No.
me, Jeff?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Go in.
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Can you hear us yet?
I can hear you, sir, but I can't hear.
Alex. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
Alex. Turn your mic on and off there, Alex. Yeah. So Alice, all right, again, big weekend. This, for people who don't know, this is like your home tournament. You live what,
Yes, sir.
20 minutes away, right? And I know you've been on the stage several times as a junior, but this is your first time as an adult. Well, how did that feel for you?
It was really such an honor to go out on the stage because, again, this is like a hometown tournament, and it was awesome just going out there and showing in front of everybody that lives here that, like, you know, I can compete with the adults. And it was my first time ever actually winning on stage at Battle of Atlanta. Even though I've been doing this tournament since I was like 7 years old, I've never won on stage. This was the first time, so it was really something special.
That's huge. That's huge.
What makes it different for you? The
Can you hear
stage at the Battle of
I'm sorry, I
Atlanta.
can't.
It might
Okay.
be you guys. DDB is saying he hears me just fine.
Yeah. So what he said was what makes it different at the battle. Like, I mean, I know for me, like this stage right now, they have done the best of almost any tournament at the production, the way it's set up, the professionalism. How do you feel when you step on stage at the Battle of Atlanta?
It was
So
definitely nerve-wracking, especially because like there's the camera in your face as you're walking onto the stage. But it was also kind of comforting knowing that like I live here, like I pass by this hotel all the time. It's not like US Open where it's like, oh, I'm competing at Disney. It's like my house is 20 minutes away from here. So it was nerve-wracking, but it was also kind of comforting knowing that like this is my hometown tournament. So it wasn't too
yeah.
bad.
So Alice, what was that feeling when, when you saw your score that you had won, your second adult overall, but your first one at the battle, your first one over the glass?
It was such an honor because she's been so dominant for so long. She's such an amazing woman, and it was like I was shocked. Like I've been working so hard for this, but it's also like wow, like I just did that. It was crazy. I was really proud of myself. It was definitely a moment where I was like, all the hard work, all the countless hours, like it really felt like it was worth it. It was just so good. It was so awesome.
So, what are some of the things that, let's see, what are some of the things that you are doing right now that maybe were different from when you were a junior preparing for a tournament?
I'm definitely putting in a lot more hours. As a junior, I was balancing with cheer and karate, so it's like I would come train at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was always really hard. But now, since cheer season is over, I'm like strictly martial arts, and it's a lot easier to focus on just this. So I'm training a lot more now. So it's really, really glad that cheer is over and I can just focus on this.
Okay. You want to try, Alex?
Yeah. I mean, can you hear me now? Am I good?
I still can't hear him. Do you want me to try to leave and come back?
Do that real fast, Alice.
Okay.
I don't know
so-
why it is. Because, yeah, I mean, everyone else can hear Alex well. It must be someone there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's actually louder, dude. What the heck?
Oh, well, I turned it up a little bit. Oh, that was my bad. How's that?
No, you're all good. You're all good.
Okay.
What was your next thing you were going to ask her?
I was going to ask her how the dynamic with cheer, how she finds that as an advantage, because dude, starting training at like 10, 11 at night.
Do you hear him
Dude.
now?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay.
Starting training at like 10 or 11 at night. That is bonkers, but cool. All right. I got to know how you feel though your cheer training, how that positively impacts your martial arts training.
Definitely, especially towards the end of the season at practice, all we're running is full out. So it's like 2.5 minutes of just super intense work. And I feel like that kind of translates into the full forms that we do for martial arts. Like, they're not as long, but it's definitely the same like stamina push that you can't get from like going on a run or doing a workout. So I definitely feel like the full outs for cheer helped my endurance for the full outs you do in martial arts.
So do you have what's your role when you cheer? Because I know that I don't know everything about it. I know that there's different jobs and different roles. What's yours?
I was a main base and a tumbler. So I was one of the
Explain what that is.
So the bases, so there's like 3 people. There's like the flyer, the 2 bases in the back. I was one of the bases, and then I was a tumbler. So I was in like all the crazy tumbling passes.
Which is another thing that cheer
Yeah,
of
that
course
checks out.
adds to your forms as well, right?
I actually wonder which one helps.
Or
Which one
exactly, or the other way around.
exactly? I could see the argument that martial arts is helping you the cheer.
Martial arts definitely help cheer. So I obviously have done martial arts my entire life, but I didn't start doing cheer until I was about 8 or 9. And so all of the flipping, like the corks, the fulls, they definitely didn't look as pretty as the other girls, but it definitely gave me like a head start. So I got all the cheer moves I got for martial arts, but then they just happened to be convenient for the cheer routines as well.
Yeah.
And I know one thing. So Alice, you've had some reels that went viral in the cheer world, or people asking about, wait, is this legal in this one or that one? And so what was that like? Maybe like bringing something that wasn't in the cheer world from our world. How was that? Because you've kind of been an innovator in that.
Mm-hmm. It was really something special. Like, I wasn't the first person to bring martial arts into cheer, but being able to blow up was super awesome because I didn't even know I was going to do in the routine. Like, it was my first year at this new cheer gym, and I was just playing around tricking. All the girls were like, you should do that in the dance. And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. So the coaches put it in, and then it went viral, and then all these cheer girls started asking me, like, what is tricking? What is martial arts? And it was really cool teaching some of the younger girls how to do some small things at the gym and really just introducing our world to them. It was really, really cool to see. And then all the people commentating on it, like I got posted on Varsity TV and Flow Sports, just being able to push our world out there to something that's not more mainstream, but something that's on a completely different spectrum was really awesome to do.
Well, it is more mainstream because more people understand what it is, and so they can see it more. Because even if cheerleading or cheer competition isn't something that every school has, it's something that they see all the time in any pro sport that they watch. So yeah, it is more mainstream.
Yeah. So Alice, again, let's go back to your Friday. All right. break that down for some people that, because we haven't really talked about that much. I think we talked about actually the last time you were on the show, you and Avery and Pia talked about how Fridays are like really tough, especially since you do so much. I know that hasn't really changed moving to adult. You haven't really cut down on divisions or whatnot. But now I feel like the pressure is even more because the division now in the women's division is one of the most, arguably the most difficult time in the women's division. So what was your Friday like?
I was definitely a little bit nervous going into Friday, but I was coming off from like big momentum. Like I won on stage at Pan Am's, and I like really had that confidence boost going in. It was a little bit nerve wracking though, because again, I'm going against the big dogs here. Everybody's at Battle of Atlanta. We're all getting ready for US Open. So it's definitely a little bit more nerve wracking than like a normal tournament would be, because I knew like there's a lot on the line for this one, and whatever I do here is going to set up what I do for US Open. So it was really nerve wracking, but being out there and hitting all my forms was just a great feeling, because I haven't hit all my forms at the tournaments leading up, and proving to myself that I can do it this weekend or this Friday was really good to do. It was really nice.
Now, sometimes, the order of these divisions have changed. Sometimes creative goes at the end. Sometimes musical. This weekend, musical was at the end. I know that like that's that sixth form is always a hard form for you, right? So what was that feeling like?
It was definitely really hard. I feel like no matter how hard you train, it's never like the same at a tournament, because you always want to push harder at the tournaments. But I feel like I was definitely prepared. Before Battle of Atlanta, I've been running so many forms in a day, like so many forms, like form, 4 minutes, form, 4 minutes, form, 4 minutes every single day. So I was definitely prepared for it. I knew I was going to be tired, but I'm used to kind of pushing when I was tired. So it wasn't too big of a shock doing that last form.
All right. So here's the great thing. All right. So when you won your first, not your first division, your weapons was your first one you won. But when you won really the first time over Haley during the daytime, you had the mindset, okay, I still have more to do and I'm ready to go. I'm sure inside you were happy, but let's just call it as your dad, he's the emotional one. So I had to find him because I knew he was running around, trying, and I'm just like, all right, dude. And, what was that moment like? I know that you in your head, you're trying to, hey, I still got a job to do, but you definitely know that he wanted that big hug from you.
It was really nice to see, because a lot of the times when I'm running these forums, I'm like, I just want to make him proud of me, and like I want to show him that I can do this. And definitely whenever he watches me at the karate school, it's very, very stressful to have him watch me. He's definitely like the number one like nitpicker, like, hey, this was bad, do this again. So seeing him so emotional over my win was like, wow, like this is really worth it. Like he's so proud of me, and it really kind of pushed me to keep going for that night. I was really happy, but at the same time I was like, okay, like I gotta lock in. He's over here crying because he's so happy, but I gotta like focus in on my next divisions, and I can't let his emotions seep onto me. I gotta keep it going.
Yeah. Did you like not even want to look at him?
Well,
like don't make eye contact.
Almost. It was a little bit embarrassing because not embarrassing, but he was so loud. I was like, okay, like I'm really happy too, but it was like kind of distracting. I was like, okay, like he's screaming over there, but I gotta like focus in. But I did make eye contact, and it made me really happy. He was so proud of me.
That's awesome. Yeah. And Alice, the same thing, like you're putting yourself in position, very similar, like what we were just talking to Katie, you just turned 18, you have 2 overall wins now. And I know your goals, because we've talked about this a lot as with training and everything, but you obviously have martial arts goals still that you're going to do. And then next year you're going to college in California for stunt, which is an offset of cheer in some ways, right? Explain that real fast for people.
So stunt is it's very similar to cheer, but in college cheer is co-ed, so it's not recognized as a true sport. So the girls don't get a lot of don't get scholarships for it. But stunt is all girls, so you can get full rides, you can get scholarships. It's actually NCAA this year. And
whoa.
Yes, it's very similar to cheer, but it's broken up into 4 quarters instead of this whole routine. It's like stunting, tumbling, pyramid, and then all together. So it's a little bit more broken up.
So your goal right now, next year, of course, is to be on a national championship team, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Which I think is the team, the college you're on, the reigning champions, or
Yes, 6 years in a row, never lost a match. Insane. They are insane.
and
And
they
that's in
got
cheer or that's in stunt?
no stunt.
Stunt. Yes, very similar but a little different.
It's a little crazy when you think about it and you say it out loud. I mean, like, I got a full ride to go to college to fall. Really cool. You know what I mean? If you think about it, you're like, I fall cooler than anybody else, and I got paid. Like, wait a minute, hang on, I can fall, right? But no, I'm dumbing it down. But it is really cool to know that is the. I didn't know until you said this right now. I did not know that was even a thing.
Well, it's a little bit. Are you thinking of like stunt acting?
That's you said stunt.
It's called. Oh my God, you didn't even listen to what she said.
Not like movie acting, like cheer, like
Stunt.
cheer. And there's like stunting and cheerleading. It's just called that, but it's still cheer. It's not like movie stunt acting.
All right, when I heard it, that's what I thought you were saying.
Oh,
All right, explain it then to me, because that's what I thought I was hearing.
No. So stunt is like it's the same premise as cheerleading. It's the same moves. It's just broken up a little bit differently. So not like
That
movie.
one routine. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, you sound a little disappointed. No.
No. It's cool. I'm just like, it sounds like cheer is the more difficult thing.
I think it's just a lot different because this is collegiate and I don't know.
Thank you,
I've never
DDB.
done it, so
Yeah.
I've never done it yet, but it's just different.
All right. Well, now I got to look into it. I want to hear all about this thing.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. And then I know you want to continue on in martial arts as well while we're doing that, right?
That's great.
It's a
So, and again, I know your next goal is of course US Open, to continue your streak, continue winning. And again, I mean, you had an amazing weekend,
Yes,
being on stage and weapons and then forms and having that win. I know you said when you saw that score, like, wow, I did it. And I finally won at the Battle of Atlanta. I mean, that's another thing too, of
Yes.
winning on stage, right, at the battle is a huge thing. I know a lot of, and again, ISK is a huge thing, but for people, especially in the South that grew up, the Battle of Atlanta is a
It's
huge deal.
yes.
It's a huge deal.
Sure.
And so, explain any of that before we finish up.
Yes, it's really just a big deal because, like I said, this is like hometown. Like I've grown up seeing all these people, like people who don't even really compete in NASCA anymore. Like all the trickers, I got to see some of them there, and it's just really awesome to see everybody kind of come together because there's a lot of people, a lot of martial artists in Atlanta, and just to see them all at Battle of Atlanta is really just an awesome thing to do. I mean, some of my students go there too to buy bow staffs, and it's really awesome for them to get to experience it as well.
That's cool. Now, Alice, this is also your first year on Team Revolution. Just explain real fast what that has been like.
It's been amazing. Team Revolution is such an awesome team. It was really nice to go on the stage and know that there's 40 people in the room over wearing the same jacket as me, cheering for me, and they all want the best for me. And it's really nice just to have this huge support group, all the parents, all the athletes just there in my corner. And it's really, really awesome to just kind of like feel all of the emotions that like they're just there for me. It's really awesome. I love it. I love everyone so much.
It's been great having you. So I'm excited for the future, and we're just getting started, and we got a lot more goals to accomplish. So
Yes.
You know, I will hang on one.
Yeah.
Since you brought up like the uniform and what you guys were wearing, there is a gripe about Team Revolution really quick.
uh-oh.
If you watched that fight between Demetrios and
Uh-oh.
Mason, you would be completely confused because they're wearing the same thing. Like, come on,
Yeah.
Connell, get some other color options.
I will-
Give them some. And for forms too, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, well, wait a minute. If it's just a little bit of green, when it's just black or it's white, it's just the same thing. You guys got a unique color. Lean into that thing, right?
So Cannell, I guess it sounds like, listen, I'm fine with some more green. I am not doing a full neon green.
No. Do not do the full neon green. Do not
I'm
do
not
that.
doing that. All right, I'm just
Do
telling
not
you.
do maybe like a sleeve.
Yeah.
Sleeve, maybe.
A sleeve.
I
A
will
sleeve would be cool.
That would be cool, right?
Mr. Cannell we do get a message. We do have like specific things to wear every day. Like Thursday will be like one team shirt. The next day will be like United We Stand.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
next
we
day
gotta.
the Century shirt, but then there's also like fighting uniforms. So Friday will be like all the fighters wear the black and
Black.
green uniform, and then Saturday will be like the white and green uniform. So we do have like a little rotation, but
Yeah, we have the home and away uniforms. Yeah, and usually the black ones we wear for the finals. So maybe
Yeah,
when
but that's the problem.
when we're fighting, listen, we haven't always fought each other. This is a first, okay? So maybe that's something to change in the future, okay?
You got it. You got to give this team the credit. That's where Team Paul Mitchell, where they're the best, because you could pull out a Team Paul Mitchell uniform from 2011 and be like, you could still wear the thing, right? It was
Well,
probably a
we
rec
have-
suit.
We have some of that too. So don't you worry. We have new gear coming out. So don't you worry.
All right, cool. I'm excited to see it.
Awesome. Well, Alice, amazing job. Super
you.
proud of you as just so many different ways. So keep up the great work. And I'm sure we will have you on again sometime.
yes, thank you guys so much for having me on tonight. It was amazing.
Congratulations
Yes,
again to you, Alice.
Thank you guys. Have an awesome night. Bye.
All right. One more. I know I'm keeping you
Man.
on. I'm keeping you on on your toes, Alex. I'm bringing
Yes.
people on left and right. So now we got another Team Revolution member who had an amazing weekend. Not only being a huge part and leader of the Team Demo win, but also winning her individual overall grand as well. Rissa Kalar,
Hi,
How are you?
everybody.
what's up?
Hi.
How do you feel? Have you recovered yet from the weekend?
No, yeah, I was about to apologize that I might lose my voice like halfway through this podcast. I mean, we had belt testing earlier today, and my voice was kind of like gone in between Little Dragons.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm still recovering, but it's all good things. I mean, I always put my heart out for everything, and yeah, I lost my voice for it.
I understand. I'm today it was my neck that I think this is finally I can turn it to the left, but yeah,
Okay, so I just moved up into the seniors division, and like my spirit like inside of me feels like I can still hang with the 18-year-olds, but as soon as I wake up for that like early morning wake up call for senior division, like 7 a.m., I'm like, oh, like rolling out of the bed. All right, what do I have to warm up extra to knock out these forms?
Here's why you're having that, because you're right. Your brain is still in 18 plus,
Yeah.
right? Your body is starting to tell you, hey, I don't think we're supposed to be doing this. I think we're supposed to be over
Flag
there.
on the play. Hold on.
Right? But the real reason why seniors has to be first is because there's only so much time where they can be performing at peak performance, right? When you're 24, you could be at peak performance for 48 straight hours, right? When you get to be like 34, you're like, all right, hang on now. I can only warm up for so long before, right? Because when you're like 34, you're like, I can beat all of you guys in the 18 plus, but you're like, I don't have all day to do this. I can't do that. Right? I only have this much time of peak performance. Once you get to like 40, then it gets hard because you're like, I have to warm up. Otherwise, there will 100% be an injury. There will be an injury. But I can only warm up a little bit because I only have like an hour of peak performance. But this is you're going through the cycle of what it's like. And then, there's some people that just defy all the odds and they go back into 18 plus and they can go forward and back. Some people like Jeff freaking Doss, right? But tell us about your experience.
Yeah. It was really cool. Battle of Atlanta is also like a home tournament because Georgia Folk. It was really cool. This is my fourth straight like NASCA overall win this weekend, which is I'm really blessed that I was able to pull that out again. Like the biggest moment was definitely team demo. I'm so proud of Extreme Revolution. We killed it Friday, and then like we brought it home on Saturday. And yeah, like team demo, it's a big part for me, like especially because a lot of it is Tim and I. Well, mostly Tim. Tim's the choreography, but like I'm like behind the stage, like it's like I'm helping with all the choreography and stuff, and then like ever since Pan Am's, it's basically been like weeks of like mentally preparing the team and all that stuff. And then like I've seen like Tim having to make his little adjustments based on like team members' availabilities, and then like we had the new music that we had to get on. So it was really cool to see like everything just kind of work out, like how everybody's hard work just like showed out for team demo. So that was a big highlight for me for battle this year.
Well, it's really cool. You guys got a good team that's deep enough to where you guys can have a really good demo.
I mean, with Mr. Lovelace, he gave us a great opportunity for Tim and I students to be like a good like core group of the demo team, and I'm really proud of my New Heights students. They're there with us like through the ups and downs of like figuring out the choreography and marking it for the rest of the demo team members. And then we got to pull out some of Sensei Corky Sykes' team to help out with some of that stuff. And then like Team Revolution's talent and skill also runs deep, so we have to like pull out from them. And it's hard to only have 20 people to like choose to be on that team. And yeah, I'm just really proud that we can all pull together for that, and that Tim is able to manage all those little pieces.
Yeah, it's and it's more than that, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's more than that, but yeah. Russ and I have a joke that, about dealing with Tim and all the stuff, but it's mostly because you know what? It's freaking hard to do making a demo, and especially since, again, like you said, we're dealing with people from all over. We're not just one school doing it. But I tell you what, it's been amazing. And the best way of saying, hey, I have these 3 people that have learned this part, so that way they can teach these people who are going to actually do it. So that's really a cool thing too. It's just, again, like that's real teamwork. You know what I mean? When you learn something, just to be ready, you know what I mean? And this weekend was something with the demo was adversity, because we had a lot of injuries and things that either happened in training before the event, before Friday, they had to change right before it. And then on Friday night during the regular divisions. And then on Saturday, even 20 minutes before, so we had about 5 different people, I think something like that had injuries that we had to change or replace or add or just adjust what they were doing. And so it's wild, but you know what? Like I use this several times a day in my mat chats and my dojo talks with my students about what we did. We could have all, Tim, you, me, all of us, just kind of gone with the negative. Well, it's just not meant to be for us to win this. It's not. No, we focus on that positive attitude. Positive people find the positive things in all things, and that's what we did.
Yeah, I was about to say, you would never say anything
No,
negative
I
like
would never
that.
say
No,
any of that.
it's like
No,
all
I'd be
about
like,
growth for you.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, we're here to win. I didn't come to lose. Like, let's go. So I think that's what's really cool, and I'm glad that we were able to do that and then win as well. You know what I mean? Like I would have been proud of the team, even if say we didn't get the scores that we deserve. You know, I felt like we deserved after that performance, right? But but even then, it was really cool that it just went all the way around. So we've talked a lot. I'm sorry, Rissa, but as far as for you, what are some highlights that you enjoy about the demo? Like, what's one of your favorite parts about the demo?
Can I be biased and say well, okay, politically, all of it. Biased, I love the Korean section. It's so cool. Like, I wasn't, I'm not really I've not grown up in the sport karate world. I was ATA for the majority of my life.
Right.
And it was cool. I've only been in NASCA maybe 2-3 years. 3 or 4 years maybe. Yeah. But the Korean section is really, really cool. And I like we literally on Wednesday practice, the Korean section looked different than what we ended up doing on Thursday, and then what's different what we did on Saturday. So it was really cool to, I don't know, Korean section was really cool.
I think it was a cool change with it. I think it's been cool since we started with the idea of having like 2 forms going on, and that's really stood out. And I think that's what makes us different as well.
Yeah, like a lot of people I've been hearing for the Revolution demo team, and then just like Revolution in general, that we have such a diverse team. Like watching us on stage on Saturday night, we had fighters, we had forms, CMX, we had team demo, we had team sync, we had Korean forms. I mean, I think we had pretty much every category up there on stage,
right.
which is really, it's a huge thing. And Mitchell Loveless, this team is awesome. I love this team. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of it. But yeah, diversity that Revolution and Extreme Revolution, the demo team shows, is a big highlight.
Yeah. Well, I got a question for you about the demo team. So Tim he's a phenomenal choreographer, right? As far as martial arts goes, I think he's very good.
He's a genius. Don't tell him I said that though.
You just did.
Everybody, keep it quiet.
What would you do different if you were to add something or tweak something or create something that's not already happening? What would you do?
I guess you're gonna have to find out for the next demo.
Come on now.
I can't give you away all the secrets.
Actually, you can.
Actually, I can't.
There's nothing saying you can't. Give me a secret. How about that?
Nah, I don't think I can.
Nope, can't do it. Can't do it, Alex. Sorry, buddy.
I'm just saying.
All right, we're looking forward to the next one then.
Yeah. It grows. Every I think every tournament, every performance, we get 1% better, or we just grow a little bit more. So that's all we can expect.
Now, Rissa, let's go back before we finish up as far as your individual stuff. So again, like you said, share a little bit about what you did in ATA, and then also, like, what are your goals? Again, I can't call you a senior. It's just weird to me. In the 30 plus divisions.
So ATA, I started when I was 5, and I did the full thing. I was like the tiny tiger all the way up to junior, all the way up to assisting, instructing, and then all the way up to leading a program. And I'm really blessed that I was able to take, like, ATA kind of like put me everywhere. I was in Florida, South Carolina, back to Florida, to Texas, California. And I grew a lot in Texas when I started like teaching a lot more, and then I was also on my first ATA World Champion demo team, and then transferring to like XMA headquarters in LA, getting to basically bring the ATA program to Mike Chat's like XMA World Headquarters thing, which was really cool to be able to teach martial arts to like the future superstars and martial arts actors and stunt actors and all that stuff. So building that program in LA was really cool. And then I moved down to San Diego where I met Tim, and then we got into another world champion team demo and got to work with one of like the top schools in ATA down in San Diego. So like being able to go from like literally the bottom to the top of ATA, it was really cool. For a while I was kind of like I was like the what they call in ATA XMA, Extreme Martial Arts. I was one of the ambassadors, so I was able to basically do like seminars and bring extreme martial arts to ATA, which ATA was more known as the traditional martial artists, where they had like their own forms and stuff that they would teach, and then having to branch out to creative stuff. I was a part of that. Yeah, it was just really cool. I don't really know how to wrap it up. I'm really bad at yapping and going in circles, but yeah.
Actually, you sound pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
So, Arissa, one of the cool things that I like about you, since you said you have just really done NASCA like 2 to 3 years, and also same thing with like WKC, is that, you know, you've been like, oh, they have this in NASCA, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this. You've really done almost every division that you can do. You know, I think, and you know, you've done Kempo, you've done Korean, you've done Japanese, you've done traditional weapons, you've done creative, you've done extreme. I mean, everything, demo, team, all this stuff. So, I mean, I probably know the answer what your favorite is, but like, what are some of the favorites since you've tried all this?
I don't really have a favorite. I mean, I love forms. I'm a big martial arts nerd, so that's why I want to try this. I want to try a new Japanese form or a new Kenpo form and all that stuff. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't really have a favorite right now. I would say my CMX forms maybe. Actually, no, I can't make a decision. I was about to say, because all my forms this weekend felt pretty good, so yeah, I would just say maybe Team Demo was my favorite.
Yeah. And you get to display a little bit of everything. That's what I think is really cool. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for me, it was a cool opportunity to be on that stage doing. Oh, I just call it open forms again. You know, and the demo gave me that opportunity to do that and to be a little crazy. And so I love that. So I always thank Tim for believing in me that I still have that. I guess that star power that he always says that we have, you know. So even at 42. But anyways, my knees were not feeling very well today. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think that's what's pretty cool just about all of that, about demos, that we get to highlight different pieces of us, you know, and make it something bigger, not just for ourselves, for others. So pretty sweet. And then Rissa, you have, of course, you have US Open big goals for that. And you have individual goals as well. And you're doing WKC again this year, right? In Spain?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when you go to that again, how many divisions do you do in WKC?
I believe 5.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your goal for that this year?
Sorry?
What's your goal for WKC this year?
I really want to get a weapons title. I've gotten so close. I've not won a weapons title in any of the leagues that I've been in. ATA, WKC, NASCA, any of that stuff. So I'm really hoping that we're really working to earn a weapons title. And then just, I don't know, from there, I love WKC. It's cool. It's cool to represent Team USA. So, yeah.
Awesome. I love that. See, no wonder we have a lot in common, because mine was the same thing. I didn't have a weapons title for a long time until a couple years ago. So, yeah, I understand.
We'll manifest it.
That's right. That's right. So, Alex, you got anything else for Arissa?
No, I'm really excited to hear your excitement. And we talked a lot about other leagues, like kind of having cross competition. You know, so many of our guys that are in NASCA or an open martial arts competition who do Japanese forms. They'll go to do WKF things, which I think is awesome. But I think doing the ATA, all right, and being highly successful there, it always just kind of felt to me like these are just two different worlds. They'll never cross paths. All right. It really felt that way. Right. So to see that you're doing that, I think is fantastic. Rissa, who else should we see in the ATA world, in the open martial arts competition world?
I mean, I haven't been in the ATA world in quite a bit. I know that there are some current people in NASCA that were also ATA. I think the Molinas from Texas, big example. I'm not. I don't know. I've been having a lot of my ATA friends say, "Hey, we want to try to jump up into NASCA," and I'm like, "Yeah, come over. It's gonna be fun." I'm really interested. Any of you ATA people that are current, I'm really interested to see how any of the ATA forms would do in it. And I've seen they've been killing it in their like Team Sync and their demos and all that stuff. So
well, and then you mentioned the Molinas too. I'm like,
Mhm.
Michael had an awesome weekend as well.
Yes. I was running around for my teammates, and I saw him, and I had to stop and watch him. He's grown up so much, Miss Molina.
Yeah, that
shout
is
out your
ridiculous.
boy. Yeah, he's
not the funny little brother anymore.
yeah, he's not the one who's like dancing with his shirt off. No, he's like, well, maybe he still is a little bit.
He's still crazy, but yeah, he's grown up. It's kind of crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many big moments that the junior. I mean, it was awesome seeing all the different juniors show out this weekend. One more person I need to shout out, and he already left because he has to get ready for work. But this was Brett Shumway's first NASCA win. All right, ever.
Go, Brett.
So we all love Brett. He's part of the main gang, and everybody.
Way to go, Brett.
Brett has been working his butt off, and he was super excited to get that win for him. And this is, I think, his first Battle of Atlanta as well. So yeah, Drew, let's shout out our senior guys.
Thank you,
Tom
DDB.
won the 30+ weapons. Sam won the forms, and Drew won the weapons and the forms. But here's the deal: we are bad about this because you know what? To be honest, it's weird. They don't put us really near each other a lot of times. The males and the females, right? When we do the 30+ or whatever. So sometimes I don't even see who wins the women's grands. Okay.
That's
But
crazy.
Rissa won the weapons grand. Lauren, right?
Lauren
Marquez from Mexico won the forms grand. 50+ grand. Do we know? Was it Roxanne?
Yes,
Forms
she won forms.
And I'm not sure who won weapons.
Actually, I don't know. Marie?
Yes, that sounds right. Marie. Yes.
Okay.
So we will double check that later and do that. So,
Fact check us, please.
fact check. But again, I know that, they're trying to show more love to the senior men. I think the big thing right now is doing the same for the women. And I know right now you've been very dominant in the weapons side. Lauren's been very successful when she shows up on the form side. You know what? I think it's hard right now. Just like the Olympics, when we say, why isn't this sport in the Olympics? Well, we need to have some parity. We need to have a lot of people to compete, that are high level. So, I mean, I'd say right now, just have you and Lauren up there. You do weapons, she does forms, and just put on a show, right? I would love to see that.
I would love for seniors to get some love to be on the night show, stage too.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Whichever way we can. Shout out to AmeriKick for doing it for the 40+. They've done that the last 2 years. It's been really fun. And I know they're trying to adjust to make it, something maybe for all 30+. But they continue to do a great job. And then also shout out to Toronto for doing it as well. The Pleiades have done that for a long time. They do a 30+ overall, and then they also do a 50+ overall. So
I'm really hoping to go to Toronto. I've missed it for 2 years. I want to see if I can get this year.
Yeah, you need to be there.
Yes,
That would be awesome. All right. Well, congrats, Rissa. Go get some rest. I know you're tired.
You too, sir.
you enjoy it, and congrats on a great weekend. And we will see you at the U.S. Open.
Thank you, sir. See you guys in a few weeks.
Yeah. All right, bro.
What an awesome time, man.
I know. This has been a good show, a fun one. I know we still probably have so much more to talk about, but I definitely feel like it was important to highlight some of these people. I know there's so many people, that it's like, you know what, like we need to have them on again, or we need to have
That's true.
them on longer. And that's the beauty of the show is dude, in August it'll be 7 years. That's insane, right?
Yeah, this August is 7 years.
Yeah. So I'm going to share something and again, we all like talking about ourselves, but hey, bud, what's up? But like, AmeriKick honored me by, announcing that they are putting me in their Hall of Fame. And that was really cool. But one of the craziest things is like, they asked me to like do a bio or whatever, send them all my stuff. And I'm just like, I don't even know half the things, that I've done or whatnot. And so writing some of those down and realizing, dang, like kind of been in this thing for a while, but,
Right.
it was kind of cool to see, some of that, but also the way that they put it out there. And, not only, just the respect that Bob and Mark gave me from when they messaged me about wanting me in their Hall of Fame was pretty cool. And literally, like Mark said, you've done everything. You've been a promoter, you've been a coach.
So just be honest. Here's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna ask ChatGPT to write your bio. But you know what you should do? You should have them write it in like the vantage point of like a rock star or something like that. Like write it as if 50 Cent was reading my bio. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny if that maybe that's what they should have done. That would be kind of crazy. Oh yes, Will, let's do this one. Alex, when are you gonna come outside, man? Come on,
Dude. I'm legitimately trying, like all the time. I am, but it's just this business is crazy. What are you gonna do?
Hey, is he checking?
Actually, you know what? No, come here. I'm gonna talk about you right now. You know why? This is my boy Adrian. Today was his first day actually doing martial arts, right?
Oh, really? Okay.
Was today your first day? What did you do today?
I did great.
You did
What
great.
did you do great at? What did you do for the first time today?
I don't know.
You goofball. Did you do a karate class for the first time?
Yes.
That was it.
Awesome.
Today
Was it
was the first day ever.
One.
So it's a big deal.
Awesome. And your other son is the one that likes to check punch.
Oh yeah, he's the one who fights like Mike Pombiero and Greg Betlock combined. All right. Oh, I'll get you a cookie. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll get a cookie. Don't you worry. All right.
All right. So next week is round 2 of the recap of the Battle of Atlanta plus guests. So it's going to be a big one. Do not miss that. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.